Okay, this is the roadmap for a chart of accounts. So you've got your income bucket, you've got your cost of sales, and then you have your budgetary items. And you can see sort of down here what we did at the bottom. We took your non-business expenses. So my expectation is that you're writing off your car, your, some of your trips that you take and other stuff where you're riding the edge with the IRS, getting as many of your quote personal life expenses sort of written off in the business that you can quote get away with and justify. So I would fully expect everybody to do that. I'm not a CPA, I'm not an accountant, but everyone knows what I'm talking about right here. But for our model right here, we're going to back those kinds of things out, and we're going to just look at the basics of the business. All right, and we're going to go back to your volume breakdown analysis here momentarily. I'm going to move pretty quick on this. So you have your income bucket. Okay, so we're going to reverse engineer it, Tim, from the net income to the gross income. All right. So, but I wanted you to see that our cost of sales is not to exceed 40%. And a cost of sale is pretty much what you're paying anybody involved in the transaction. Okay, like your outside salespeople, or if you're paying a percentage of the income to an ISA, that cannot exceed 40%. All right. Now, these buckets down here, advertising, which is marketing, labor, operations, and rent. Marketing, labor, operations, and rent. Okay, so marketing 10% budget, labor 12, operations 6, rent 2. That's it. All the expenses you have in your business will fall into those 4 buckets. One of those 4 buckets. Okay, we're not going to make up a bucket. So you've got to work with your CPA. So let me pause there. All of the titanium and your home sold guaranteed realty owners that I spend a lot of my time with, that what they do is they take this roadmap here, this chart of accounts, they give it to their accountant, CPA, and the accountant then takes all of the expenses, income and expenses, and plugs them into this model, and they send it to me. Okay, and we look at it, and it's like, yeah, you're good here, you're off there. Just the fact that they're doing that, and they send it to me, which they don't need to, but they do. It shows them where they're good and where they're not. Okay, so you want to net $1 million. Well, if we ran these numbers, if we took 100% minus 40%, minus 10, minus 12, minus 6, minus 2, that leaves a net income of 30. So if everything is perfect in your business from a budgetary standpoint, you're going to net $1 million on 3.3 million, right? Yeah, 30%. No, yeah, 3 million. So you're going to net $1 million. Makes perfect sense, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm going to put a little margin of error in here for us because, you might need it. So we'll go with a lower end. And this is what I recommend you guys do. Go with the lower end. In other words, don't overestimate what you can do, underestimate. So we're going to go with a 20% net. Now, that means your gross now becomes 4 million. Has everybody got that? So 20% net is 4 million, a 30% net 3. That's a huge difference. An extra $1 million in gross income to net $1 million. So the importance of what we're talking about here on the efficiencies, the metrics, the numbers, who's doing what, there's accountability and standardization built into this thing as you scale it up. That's how you get predictability in your business. And if you don't, well, you're working more for less, and we don't want you to do that. All right. So the good news is we got a model that we're gonna use, but I'm gonna err to the side of caution. So that means your gross here, it's gonna be 4 million. Now remember, Tim, you're not going on any appointments in this business, right? That's a 20% net income. Now, if we compare this to not to real estate, but any business out there in the world, go pick one. Dude, businesses don't make 20 to 30% net. That's so rare in the real world. Okay. I think it was Amazon didn't make a profit for 20, 25 years. I don't think they've ever had one over 5%. So builders building houses, I don't know what they make. What do they make? 8, 12, 14, 15%, depending on. cost plus 10, cost plus 12, cost plus 18, if it's a super high end deal. So you guys get where I'm going with it. This is highly profitable. All right. Now, how many sales would that be? So let's run the numbers. I don't know, Tim, do you agree with me? I can say Tim is the best person to ever build a real estate sales team in his life ever. And he's going to follow the model all along the way. And it's going to be 3 million, 3.3 really, to get to $1 million. We could do that, but I don't recommend it. All right. So $4 million divided by 14,000 is 286 transactions. Sounds more realistic, right?
Yeah, that's what I got.
286 sales. All right. So no more 72. Okay. Now that might be a huge number. What'd you do last 12 months, Tim, if you don't mind me asking?
We did 74 last year, 2022.
Awesome. Good job, buddy. All right. So if you can do 74, you can do 7,400. And it's just leverage. It's just numbers. It's just systems. Okay. And that's it. So how does Elon Musk manage 200,000 employees? At Tesla, for example, like how does he do that? And the answer is systems. It's it. Without it, the business will never even be a business. So what we just looked at was a system, a profit and loss model, which is easy. You plug your numbers in, where you're at and where you're off. Okay. Cost of sales for real estate agents is where most people get it wrong. They decide they want to scale up or grow a real estate sales team. The first mistake that they make is hiring someone, and what they're paying them is not in line with a profit model because they didn't follow a profit model to start with. They're not modeling success. So they're automatically now in a bad position, or they are collecting whatever the listing agent's paying out, for example, on buyer transactions. There's no way, impossible, and repeats, impossible for all of you guys to scale your business up getting paid what listing agents pay buyers agents out there in the world. It's impossible. That's the discount. So you're going to have to value stack and figure out how to set, negotiate, and collect an optimum fee. But again, that's why we start with the money, but no one wants to do that.